Hi, welcome to lesson 5 of our series of bringing yourself into the present moment in your yoga session. So we've got a short 20-minute class today with some warm-ups and the triangle posture and then a relaxation at the end of the class. So a class that you can use any time of the day really just to bring yourself back into the moment. And the triangle posture particularly is really good for upper body strength and flexibility, and also just releasing all of these kind of stored emotions that we may sometimes store in our sides. So it's one of my favourite postures, and I'm looking forward to this class. So to start the class, you're going to need a cushion and a strap or a scarf or a belt, because we'll be doing some hamstring stretches in preparation. So if you want to grab those things, and then we'll get started. So I'll invite you to come down onto your mat, and you're going to bring your knees up to in line with your hips, and just have your cushion here so that you can rest your head down on the mat. So we're going to start to just open the chest a little bit. So we're going to inhale, raise up, exhale, just allow your arm to start to drop behind you and look towards your arm, and just start to breathe in. Now you may, if you feel that's really tight on your shoulder, just bring, so you can have your hand resting on your shoulder, or you can have it outstretched, and just see how your neck feels in terms of how far it wants to turn to look to the other side. And if you want to go a little bit further into the twist, you can just lift this top hip into the stretch, just making sure that your shoulder is down on the mat, the shoulder that you're looking toward, or both shoulders are down on the mat. And then we're going to inhale, raise your arm up, exhale, lower down. So this next movement you might want to watch first, and then play it back. So we're going to start with the top hand, awareness to your top hand. Imagine that you've got a pencil in your little finger. You're just going to draw the shape of a rainbow around the back of your head, which is a really strong pull, particularly when you get to here, into your pecs, opening your arms, and it just takes you a little bit deep. You can turn your head to look towards your arm, and it just takes you a little bit deeper into that twist. And then when you're ready, you just retrace, travel back, and then meet you back there with your hand on top. So we're going to do that on the opposite side now. So it doesn't really matter which side you start with. So I'll come over to this side and you can see the movement again. So bring in your knees, just checking that your knees are at 90 degrees. Your hands are out in front. And we're going to start to raise your arm up. So you inhale, exhale as your arm comes down. And just notice if this feels tighter on this side as you allow your head to look over to your arm and just enjoying the stretch through your back. And then we're going to uncurl, bring in your hand back where we started, exhale. And then we're into the rainbow tracing. So we take the arm around the back of your head. And again, looking down towards your arm. Great. And then we start to retrace with my hand on the candle. And then bring in your arm back to where you started. Lovely. So push up and grab your belt, your sash. And you may want to use, if it feels comfortable, you may want to use your pillow for this. I always like to just work with what feels comfortable. Some people like to have a pillow. In my class, when we're doing hamstrings, other people prefer not to. So today I feel like I want to have a pillow. So you're going to grab your sash and just wrap it around your left foot or right, whichever you prefer. We always just switch to the opposite leg. You're going to push out. And initially, you'll see that I'm just straightening my leg out without engage my core to do the stretch. I'm going to take a breath in. As I exhale, I draw my abdominal muscles back towards the spine, and then I push through my heel and then draw the leg up into a hamstring stretch. So just bring your leg up to a place that you feel comfortable rather than an agonizing hamstring stretch. Pushing through your heel. Couple of breaths here. You can push your lower back down into the mat for a bit more support using your core, and we'll bend into the knee. Drop the hands down and just switch over to your opposite leg. So you're going to wrap the sash around, straighten your leg out, engage in your core as you exhale. Don't forget the core, and then starting to tune into your hamstring, seeing where it wants to go. Really pushing through your heel. Just take a couple of breaths here. And then bending into your knee, wrapping your sash around, and then coming up onto all fours. So this next stretch is a really lovely stretch to get into your shoulders. So you're going to bring your right hand and just feed it under your left, behind your left wrist. And again, I'm just going to bring my pillow today for a bit of comfort. You may just want to go down to the floor and just drop your head. It's actually more comfy without. Just dropping your head down so you can see my hand is just fed under. And then you just breathe into your spine. And then we're just going to drop ourselves back that little bit further until you get an extra stretch. And then you can inhale, raise up, and come back to the original position. And then we're going to go over to the opposite side. So you're going to drop your hand across, stretching over. And then just draw back just that little bit further. Excellent. And then bringing yourself back up. So we're going to tuck your toes under now and push up into a standing position. So from here, we're going to tuck your toes under and then just start to push up and walk your hands back as we come into the peace posture, the forward bend. And you could be up here or down here, just wherever your hands will get to. And just allow yourself to drop down. Let your head and neck relax down. And then we're going to slowly bend into your knees. Just stretching your arms up. And then just letting your hands relax down. Taking a couple of breaths, just letting the blood flow down through your body. Excellent. So we're going to come into the triangle posture now. So for this, we're going to take our feet to hip width apart. Feeling that you're engaging your core muscles as you exhale. Hands under the abdomen. We're going to inhale, raise the hands up to the heart. Exhale. Take your feet wide and your arms out. And you want to, at all times, keep your shoulders open. You don't want to pull them back, but just keep them open. We're going to turn your right foot, so raising the heel, turn your right foot to 90 degrees. and your left foot to 45. And we're just going to do an easy triangle to start with. Okay, so we're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, just reaching over to your right side. Just let your hand drop down in an easy position, and then allow your left arm to reach up, and you're just stretching out from your hip. We're going to look up to the thumb here, and then to come out of the triangle, just looking forward. Bend, knee comes over the ankle, into that leg. Let your arms come up. Such a good stretch to the side, and then walk your feet back in. And then we'll go over to the opposite side. So core is engaged as you exhale. We inhale, taking the arms out. Feet, so rotating your left foot to 90 degrees, your right foot to 45. We reach over, just an easy reach. And just let your hand drop to an easy stretch. So really keeping this hip and shoulder back. And then when you feel ready, if your balance suits, you can look up towards your hand. Couple of breaths here. And then we bend into that knee, raise your arms up, and let your hands come back down, stepping back together. So this time we want to extend a little bit further if you can. Just work with what feels right for you today. So core is engaged. We're going to inhale, taking your feet wide. Exhale, rotating your right foot around 90 degrees, your left is at 45. We're going to reach over and then dropping down. Coming that little bit further. Just come to where you can stretch to. So you may be that you're up here, but your shoulder is open. Okay, so just letting yourself drop down where your body's happy to, open to, and then looking up to your thumb. And then when you're ready, bend into your knee, arms come up. And then we'll do the opposite side. So adjusting your foot to 45, hips face forwards. We're going to inhale, exhale, reaching over a little bit further, keeping your shoulder, your hip back, rotating round. So just getting your balance first of all. And then looking up towards your thumb if you can, if it feels right for you. Couple of breaths here. And then you bend into your knee. Raise it up. Hands come down. And just walking your feet back together. Just take a couple of breaths. Chest is open. Our next posture is the crocodile posture. So we're going to come to lying down on the mat. Okay, so moving into our relaxation now. So we're going to come into crocodile, Makarasana position. This is a really fantastic position to help your nervous system just come back into balance. So you're going to take your elbows out to the sides. Take your feet out to the side, your heels are turned in, your toes are turned out, and just play around with what feels comfortable with resting on your hands, and just let your forehead drop down. And then from here, just allowing the whole of your body to sink down onto your mat. Becoming aware of your face and allowing your face to soften. Becoming aware of your shoulders, your arms and just letting them sink down into the ground. So you want to feel the floor is completely holding you up. Becoming aware of your belly, just letting your belly become soft now as you've released and stretched your upper body, sides of your body. Just feeling your hips and your pelvis starting to sink down into the mat. Taking your focus now into your lower back. Just breathe into your lower back and allow your lower back to soften. And then breathing into the middle of your back. Feeling this wave of softness starting to flow up and down your spine. And then breathing into lower, middle, upper back. And as you exhale, just feeling the whole of your spine softening down now. Becoming aware of your legs and just letting them sink down into the mat. Knees are soft, calves, ankles relaxed. And just feel for the next 3 or 4 breaths your whole body relaxing down, absorbing all of the movements, the changes, the balance that you've brought, the peace that you've brought into your body and your mind. Just let it fill every cell, that space in your body. And then when you're ready, coming out of the posture, you're going to take your hands and just bring them under your shoulders. Draw your feet together. We're going to push up and take your bottom back towards your heels. Again, just adjusting to the position that suits you in extended child pose. Just softening into your arms, head rest down. And then either using your core muscles to lift yourself up or push on your hands. Bring yourself back into a seated position. Take a couple of breaths. And arrive in this moment. Namaste.